Hello again, everybody. I'm Paul the Nitro Skivers, and welcome to the premiere episode of From the Mind of the Nitro. It's a new show, and I'm glad that you could join us. Where I've been since the end of the Nitro Corner, well, I've been pretty busy doing what I do best, talk about professional wrestling, try to help research stuff for Facebook groups like the Mothership and John Arezzi's Memories and Wrestling Territories, among several Facebook groups that I help contribute to, as well as the new one, Delmarva Wrestling History. And that's where I've been. And the focus of this show is simple. I give my opinion on certain wrestling topics, and I do not stop. It'll be unfiltered. You'll hear what I really think about these subjects and stuff like that. It's unstructured. It's just simply going right down the line. So, without any further ado, let's begin. I'm going to begin with the Tessa Blanchard controversy. As we all know, Tessa Blanchard's been in a lot of hot water lately. One wrestler accused her of using the N word and bullying other wrestlers in the locker room. There's another story that Women of Wrestling, wow, one of their trainers was reduced to tears after being heavily criticized by Tessa Blanchard for some unknown reason, and that she had an argument with Malia Hosaka in the dressing room that was pretty heated. So my opinion about it is simple. It's kind of she said type of situation. Now Tessa has denied all this, and I'm gonna have to take her for face value right now until there is undisputed evidence that Tessa Blanchard did this. Whether she did it or not, she officially denied it, which is fine. I will have to take her on face value, but we'll see in the near future what this situation amounts to, not just for Tessa, but for Women of Wrestling as well, especially on Spike TV, where they recently dropped New Japan Pro Wrestling for unknown reasons. So I guess they don't want to work with Impact or something like that, as well as the women's division. We'll see what happens, how this is all shaken up to be. All right, moving on. NWA Hard Times pay-per-view was Friday night. Congratulations to the new champs that were crowned there. A new World's Television Champion, Ricky Starks, won the TV title, defeating Trevor Murdoch in the finals of that tournament. Congratulations to the self-proclaimed Stroke Daddy, Ricky Starks. The tag team titles changed hands. The Rock and Roll Express lost the belts in a triple threat match to the new champions Eli Drake and the Tennessee Cowboy James Storm. Also, the Wild Cards were involved in that triple threat match. Great reign, though, by the Rock and Roll Express. 9-time NWA World Tag Team Champions. That is just absolutely tremendous. And that of an accomplishment for the Rock and Roll Express. Old school still rules. You could best believe that. And Thunder Rosa ended the year-long reign of Allison Kay is the NWA Women's Champion. Congratulations to Thunder Rosa. It'll be interesting to see where this goes in the NWA in the near future. Also, that night, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the National Treasure. It's a Sunday morning. I keep forgetting names, but the NWA Champion kept his belt, being Flip Gordon. Congratulations to him on retaining the belt. I apologize for not knowing who the NWA champion is. Again, it's Sunday morning that I'm recording this. So, Nick Aldis. That's right, Nick Aldis. Finally got it in my head a little bit. But Nick Aldis did defeat Flip Gordon to retain the NWA World Heavyweight title. And I got tremendous respect for Nick Aldis as the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. What a great champion to represent the National Wrestling Alliance. Sorry for the miscue. Again, it's Sunday morning. What you expect? The NWA had also their TV tapings this past weekend, and you'll see it very soon on the NWA YouTube channel at youtube.com/NWA. Moving on to AEW. I'm really beginning to like AEW. Now, I mentioned in my column, or in my blog, so to speak, for the Daily Chinlock. By the way, if you want to catch my blogs, they're held every week at the Daily Chinlock on WordPress.com. Type in the Daily Chinlock and you'll see my blog there. I gave AEW in my previous blog on June 15th, like Jim Cornette did, to shape up where TNT may cancel them. Well, it looks like they're not going to cancel them. They got an extended on a contract for 4 more years and added and ordered a second show, which is very impressive for a new company that just started last year. I'm looking forward to the Chris Jericho John Moxley main event. John Moxley's unbelievable. That's a resurrection right there of a great career. John Moxley was held down in the WWE as far as I'm concerned. Now he is fresh. I like this John Moxley character, especially with the eye incident, which, by the way, the eye incident involving Jericho putting a spike near John Moxley's eye was reminiscent of what the Road Warriors did to Dusty Rhodes in November 1988 on World Championship Wrestling. So I'm looking forward to that match coming up at their next pay-per-view in February. As far as the rest of the division goes, they're doing pretty good right now, and I'll probably have more about AEW in the near future. Another company that I'm really enjoying is MLW, Major League Wrestling. If you have Verizon Cable, it's on the BN Sports on Channel 596. Great hour of great action. I mean, the Contra unit is unbelievable. One of the top rule-breaking teams, as far as I'm concerned, in the business today. As well as the situation involving the Von Erichs, who are the future of professional wrestling. I'm really liking Ross and Marshall Von Erich on that. And their feud with Filthy Tom Lawler. Ooh, that's going to be a great feud. I'm looking forward to that. Last night I saw the no-rope barbed wire match between Mance Warner and Jimmy Havoc. Oh, that was brutal, but Mance Warner victorious in that last night. Davey Boy Smith winning the Opera Cup 2 weeks ago. That was a great tournament. Great win by Davey Boy Smith Jr. I'd like to see him and Jacob Fatu for the MLW World Heavyweight Championship. That is going to be a tremendous battle for that particular title. So watch for MLW if you, on the Verizon channel 596, or go to youtube.com/MLW. They upload all their latest episodes on there. Watch it. I highly recommend it. MLW. Now on to the Major League of Professional Wrestling. According to them, sports entertainment, the WWE. I'll begin with Raw. What is going on with Raw? Really, Raw? I sat there and the commercials were more entertaining than what's going on Raw. I'm sorry. The only thing that's keeping you up is Becky Lynch versus Asuka. Seriously, come on, Raw. The Monday Night Messiah. Oh, he's all high and mighty and powerful and all that type of stuff. Give me a break, really? And your little group, Buddy Murphy and the AOP, they got nothing to offer on the table. Buddy Murphy gives good matches, but no sizzle. You have the steak, but no sizzle. Entertain me with something, but come on. The Monday Night Messiah, really? Can we get real? As far as roster goes, really? I mean, offer me something to have me watch it except Becky Lynch versus Asuka. And speaking of the Raw Women's Division, you need to get talent in there. You need to get fresh talent, new faces in there. Becky Lynch can only face Asuka so many times, Charlotte so many times. You need fresh, new talent to get in there on the Raw roster side. So Raw, you need to shape up real quick, or else USA Network might take a second consideration in looking at whether they'll renew their contract with you or not. Now, let's move on to Smackdown. I got a question. Is the Yes Movement and Roman Reigns' popularity enough for Fox? I mean, we're entering the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. You got to have a strong lead into the Super Bowl. SmackDown, they're doing okay, but they need to amp it up a little bit. More sizzle. Something that gets me excited because the Super Bowl's coming up, and if you don't have a good lead into the Super Bowl, they're really going to start questioning why you're on Fox in the first place. So it's really important for SmackDown to really give a good oomph, so to speak, towards the towards the Super Bowl, which comes up in a couple weeks. And the WWE and SmackDown doing it right, hyping the Super Bowl by hyping all their specials and stuff like that. but you need to work on your end a little bit to make sure you give that proper oomph to get you into the Super Bowl. As far as the Yes Movement goes, it's a little refreshing. I like that. The women's division on SmackDown needs some work. Needs a little work. Needs some fresh talent, like I said, on the Raw roster as well. Women's roster as well for Raw. As well as SmackDown. They need fresh talent, new faces. But I'm liking the Bailey / Sasha Banks versus Lacey Evans things. Because personal stuff does sell box office, believe it or not. Most of these angles sometimes involve either around a title or personal stuff. So basically, yeah, it's going to work. And hopefully there will be a conclusion at the Royal Rumble this Sunday. Now moving on to NXT. Great show. Solid show. Top to bottom. That's a good show to watch. That's some good stuff. Keith Lee, unbelievable. What a tremendous athlete he is for his size and weight. That Pounce movie does so well. I mean, Donovan Dijakovic, another great athlete. Undisputed Era is just killing it on NXT. The women's division on NXT is the best women's division you got in the WWE. No doubt about it. Nothing needs to be changed in NXT. Bring in more fresh talent each and every time. Let them be themselves. And that's the formula to make NXT a very successful product. I'm telling you right now, NXT is the future of professional wrestling right now, along with AEW, MLW, and the National Wrestling Alliance. Well, we're about nearing the end of the program. It's time for some Royal Rumble predictions. I'll begin with the men's first. I hate to say this, but yes, Brock Lesnar is going to win the Royal Rumble. They've already got it booked so much that for Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, to be the number one entrant, they're trying to make him Mr. Royal Rumble like Shawn Michaels did when he entered number one. It's the same basic playbook. Brock Lesnar is going to win the Royal Rumble and will headline WrestleMania. Because why? He is Brock Lesnar, Mr. Part-Timer, Brock Lesnar. I don't know anymore. That's how it's going to be booked. Brock Lesnar is going to win the Royal Rumble. Mr. Part-Timer, as far as I'm concerned. As far as the women's goes, I'm going to pull out a surprise here, folks. I think Shayna Baszler is going to be the surprise entrant into the Royal Rumble from NXT. Maybe Rhea Ripley. Maybe another surprise into the Royal Rumble. Those two are going to probably win the Royal Rumble match. Bar none. As far as I'm concerned, either Rhea Ripley or Shayna Baszler is going to win the Royal Rumble. As far as the other matches goes, I think The Fiend is going to beat Daniel Bryan in a brutal strap match. And I think The Fiend is going to be in the co-main event at WrestleMania, of course. I guess against whoever SmackDown will bring up, maybe Roman Reigns at that time. We'll see a new SmackDown Women's Champion in Lacey Evans. I think that makes more sense for her to win the SmackDown Women's title based on how they're setting up this angle for it to end on pay-per-view. Sheamus is going to beat Shorty G. Next. Excuse me, that's just my cell. Next. What else do they got on there? Really, I don't have nothing else to say about the Royal Rumble. There's some of my predictions for the Royal Rumble, and I hope you enjoy the Royal Rumble. Well, that's it for this edition of From the Mind of the Nitro. We're going to have our next Mind of the Nitro on the Sunday before the Sunday of AEW's next pay-per-view. I'll have the date for you in the next couple days. Hope you enjoyed this premiere episode of From the Mind of the Nitro. I'm Paul the Nitro Skivers. Enjoy the Royal Rumble this Sunday night, actually tonight, on pay-per-view and on the WWE Network. So long, everybody.